Welcome back to Beyond the Blueprint with dubizzle Property, your front row seat to the latest developments driving the real estate market here in the UAE. Whether you're an investor, a first-time buyer, or simply passionate about property, this series is your go-to guide for people and projects shaping the future of our cities. In today's episode, we're thrilled to be joined by somebody who's deeply involved in one of those most eye-catching projects at the heart of Dubai Internet City, Mikhail Podkopaev, the sales director of Mered.
Well, thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Mikhail, it's great to have you with us. Before we jump into the details of the iconic residences, tell me a little bit about your journey into real estate and what Mered stands for in today's real estate market.
Thank you again, Matthew. Actually, I've been in real estate all my life. So I've started surprisingly not in my home country. I started in the United States. So I lived there for 4 years in Florida, South Florida.
Wow.
So I get there like pretty, good hard school skills like how to sell, door knocking and all of this, broker vibes in the real estate sales. Then I used to work in Europe, also in real estate and on the brokerage side. And my last 4 years, I was one of the top real estate developers, international global real estate developers. And then the last few years, I was with Mered. And actually, what I always was passionate about in real estate is not only creating the developments, but also creating the lifestyle and the journey for our clients. And that's actually what Mered stands for.
Yeah, well, that's pretty interesting background you got there. The Florida piece, weather akin to here, but it's certainly put you in good stead for where you are today, no doubt. So today we're going to dive into iconic residences, a striking new addition to Dubai skyline by Mered, located in the heart of Dubai Internet City. Designed by the legendary Italian firm Pininfarina, this 66-story tower redefines luxury living with sleek architectural lines, sweeping views of the Palm, and world-class amenities, some of which we're going to get into with Mikhail shortly. From private cinemas and one incredible penthouse spread across 2 floors to ice rooms, yoga decks, iconic residence is more than just a home. It's a lifestyle statement. So Mikhail, let's get into it. Why iconic residence and why now?
I would love to give you the idea why we decided to go with the name Iconic, because the area where we're locating, Dubai Internet City, it's actually such an iconic area for Dubai government, because we have one of the most biggest and successful companies in the world, like tech giants like Google, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft. And they're all locating in this area, so it's quite important free zone. It's one of the first actually free zone for UAE government to attract these billion-dollar companies for their expansion in Middle East. And we had this opportunity to create this project there, and the last piece of land as a freehold land in this area, and we think it will be very, very iconic. And on top of that, we have Pininfarina on board, which such an unique 95 years old actually Italian design bureau firm, and we are very proud to work with such incredible architects and designers, and we learn a lot from them, and we're very proud that this will be the first Pininfarina branded residences on the whole Middle East, and that's why we think that this development will be very, very iconic.
It's certainly got the design behind it, right? Pininfarina. I mean, it's a name synonymous with red cars and beyond. Talk us through a little bit, or walk us through the concept of that vision. Then, behind iconic residence. You mentioned that it will be iconic. We spoke about some of the things that will actually have, but walk us through the concept itself and the overall vision.
Sure. So basically, there's two lines in the design of the iconic building, the important lines. The first one, of course, the iconic Ferrari cars, Maserati cars that was designed by Pininfarina. Not a lot of people know that before 2017, most of the Ferrari cars, all the Ferrari cars were designed by Pininfarina. And the sleek lines that we see, for example, in Ferrari 458, F12, that's all kind of, repeating in our building, in the facade of our building and the interiors also. So our building is designed by Pininfarina, not only interiors, but exteriors as well. And the second line is basically the inspiration of the natural heritage of the UAE. Pininfarina inspired by the sea waves and the sea dunes when they were creating the shape of the building. So the facade of the building is kind of reminding the sea waves and the sea dunes from the different sides. From the back side of the building, it's more like a closed, the one that are towards the desert, and the one that towards the sea with the fully open panoramic sea view and the Palm Jumeirah view. It's more open and more like sea wave shapes. And that's how Pininfarina created our building, which more like like a very, very special iconic piece of art.
Yeah,
I would call.
I mean, iconic by name, iconic by nature. It sounds pretty incredible. One, that you've got that designer on board as sort of the design architectural inputs into it, but also in terms of what you're describing there in terms of lines and the tie up between previous car designs and how this building will look. What do we expect then in terms of timelines? Like, when can we expect handover of the units that are going up?
Yeah, that's actually a very good question, and because in the Middle East, this is our first project, not the first project globally, but first in the Middle East, and it's very, very important for us to be in time with the construction. We are very open for this for our customers. We even have our sales office just next to the construction plot, so the customers can come to our sales office and literally can see from the sales office the construction update. And we are fully aligned now with the construction updates. We're fully finished enabling works. We finished now the G floor, the ground floor, and we probably by end of July, mid-July, you already will be able to see like a floor per week, how the building is rising towards the sky.
Yeah. And in terms of overall handover, like, when do you expect that to be done?
It will be the third quarter 2027. That's
Okay.
where we will be handing over our building and our apartments to our wonderful customers.
And in terms of payment plans, I mean, how do they look for you guys? You mentioned there that it's your first building. So what are you doing to encourage people to invest in your in the iconic residences?
So I would say, compared to the wonderful Dubai real estate market, we're pretty soft on the payment plan. We have the 50%, 50-50 ratio. So the 50% during handover, during the construction, and the 50% on the handover.
Yep.
However, of course, we have sometimes like a special investors, special cases where we can discuss with our customers the tailored, especially to them, payment plans, but that's more case by case basis. But usually it's a 50-50 payment plan.
Okay. And it sounds as though outside of that penthouse that we mentioned, which we'll go into in a minute, because I'm sure the listeners and the viewers will really love to see exactly what that's about. What are the types of units that you've actually got within the building? Clearly covering 66 floors, but what can we expect by way of units in terms of the type and I suppose the insides of each one of them?
So in Iconic Residences, we fully targeting the premium sector of real estate. We don't have any studios. So basically the minimum amount of the area that we have in one bedroom is 860 square feet. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms, and 4 bedrooms up to 2,700 square feet. And important also to mention that even our 1 bedrooms, as I mentioned, it's minimum 860 square feet. It also has a always separate master block, and then 1 more powder room, so it's always 1.5 bathrooms. So even the smallest 1 bedrooms, we want to tailor them to the premium style of living for our customers, and we're targeting our audience for Iconic residences being like fully satisfied in the building they're living in. So answering your question in short is 1 to 4 bedrooms and plus the exclusive penthouse.
So let's get into the penthouse. What can you share with me about this penthouse? Spread over 2 floors, no doubt iconic views. If you're looking at the footprint of the palm, I would say that is one. So what can you tell me about this penthouse?
Not a lot, to be honest.
Right. I had a feeling that might be the case.
Because we are not really releasing this penthouse to the market, but I will give you a little bit of a sneak peek. So basically, obviously, it will be the highest Pininfarina penthouse in the world, and the only one, because they never did something like this. So speaking of the amenities, we have a 2 level of amenities, and penthouse will have their own level of amenities. So basically, they will have another infinity pool overlooking the Palm Jumeirah on the level of the 300 meters. And as you mentioned, it will be 2 levels. It will be double height ceilings with the 10 meters height. And the finishes, although our finishes in the building was a very, very high standard, and the finishes in the penthouse will be totally on another level, on a different level. Pininfarina is designing this penthouse separately from the other apartments, so it will be the truly, you know, one of a kind piece of art. And I think, and we're aiming to when we sell this penthouse for, you know, respectful journalists like you, like some property portals will be announcing this deal as one of special deals on the UAE market.
I don't suppose you can tell me how much this penthouse is going to cost yet.
I'm not supposed.
No, exactly. No, that's what I thought, but it certainly sounds like a wonderful piece of art, as you said there, right? Spread over 2 floors. In terms of the other amenities, I sort of mentioned at the beginning there things like ice baths and other rooms. So where is this located? How the residents have all access to it? How does what are the other things you can tell us about those amenities?
Sure. So the general idea, what we want to, you know, achieve in our building, that our residents will be basically having everything that they're expecting from the premium building inside the building, and then if they want, of course, everything is super close by. So on the first level of amenities, which will be on the podium, we will have the huge Pininfarina pool. We will have, of course, the gym, the yoga studio, the private cinema, the kids room with the nannies, and outdoor kids area. And what will be unique, we will have the first Pininfarina paddle court in the world, and that will be also inside Iconic residences. It will be on our podium level, and it will be available only now for our residents. And then on another level of amenities, which we call sky amenities. So the first level will be podium floor, and then on the 40th floor, which will be around 250 meters above the ground, we have another level of amenities overlooking the Palm, with the infinity spa pool overlooking the Palm Jumeirah, the blue waters, the Burj Al Arab, so all the best views. And then another spa area only for the residences, including the ice bath, you know, the sauna, the steam room, the massage rooms. So you basically can, you know, order any type of treatment that you want, and it will be specifically tailored only for our residents on the 40th level of Iconic residences. And one level down, we will have another panoramic restaurant only also for Iconic residences.
Okay. So that won't be open to general public?
No. It's only will be for the residents.
Wow. And again, all residents can then access all of these amenities?
Yes, exactly.
It sounds phenomenal. So you know, I'm looking forward to seeing it when it comes out, if I'm allowed in.
Yeah, of course we will invite you.
In terms of investors, right? No doubt you're looking to attract investors into this. You know, what sort of ROI can they expect?
So speaking of ROI, basically what's so special about this area, that the demand is there. The demand is quite huge, and there is no premium residential building in the area because there is no land. As I mentioned in the beginning, most of the area, it's headquarters of the big giant tech companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and there is no other residential buildings around except Iconic residences. And we already see it as a feedback from our clients who are purchasing units there. So basically, why I'm saying this, because the competition that our residents and the future investors who is buying will be facing is basically only 300 units that we have in the building and nothing else in the area. So pretty much there is nothing to compare with, but as per our financial model, we're planning to still increase the prices until the end of the project up to 22%. So basically, if the clients will be entering the project now, that's sort of numbers that they can expect until the end of the project. And in terms of rental ROI, basically, again, as I mentioned, there is nothing like this in the area. So pretty much I would say that 9 to 11% rental yield ROI. That's something that easy the Iconic residences clients can expect, because there's just demand is there. All the CFOs, CEOs of the top giant companies working there, and they need a good residential properties, but there is nothing nothing like this in the area. So we truly believe that the rental potential will be very, very high. And on top of that, there is this thing called Dubai Knowledge Park, with the biggest amounts of universities in the whole UAE. It's also locating in the Dubai Internet City, and it's like walking distance from the Iconic residence as well.
Yeah.
So all these things that they kind of create a unique opportunity to make a very, very good rental ROI in Iconic residences.
Amazing. It certainly sounds like you put your work in order to make sure you're understanding the price point and what investors are looking for. The project sounds phenomenal, and I'm sure that Iconic Residence will be a success. In terms of just your feeling, one last question: how do you feel? What's the sort of outlook for the market in terms of off plan at this moment in time? How's the feeling from the business that you work within in terms of what the opportunities are?
I definitely like what I see, what's going on with the market, because I feel that the projects that we're having now and that are releasing like on a monthly basis, and that's why we like Dubai, because every week sometimes we have a new projects. But the projects that we're having now, they're very thought through, and I think that the type of real estate, the quality of the real estate that we're now starting to have on the market is very, very high end. Dubai always was, the biggest, the best and always trying to achieve it in the world. But now we're in UAE, where we're overachieving even this, and the type of real estate, type of planned projects that we see, they really like the highest standard. They are sometimes like even way better than something that you see across the globe in the best cities like New York, London, Tokyo. Like all of these megapolises, they have certain real estate, but what we see now releasing in the off-plan market, it's quite special, and I feel that it will grow, and nothing like this in the world like Dubai market. So I'm a believer of the off-plan Dubai market.
You and many other people, I think. I think it's nice to hear from the developer side as well in terms of their belief. Mikhail, thank you very much. That wraps up our deep dive into Iconic Residences by Mered, a property that's clearly raising the bar in innovation, design, and lifestyle here in Dubai. And I think everything that was covered there just supports that narrative. So whether you're an end user seeking luxury or an investor eyeing returns, clearly this project with both style and substance could be for you. And to our listeners and our viewers, if this episode is something that's got you thinking about your next property move, head over to dubizzle Property and explore the new projects tab. You'll find all the latest launches there, including Iconic Residences, all in one place. So don't forget to follow the podcast, drop us a comment, or please let us know what project you want us to feature on the next episode of Beyond the Blueprint. So this has been dubizzle Property. If you're buying off plan in the UAE, there's no better place to look than dubizzle. Thanks very much, and see you next time.